Hello everyone, Glenda Mollett here, and we're stamping in my craft room today with the Whale Done bundle. This is one of the cards for my Whale Done class that I'll be having. The bundle consists of the Whale Done stamp set and the coordinating whale builder punch. Okay, I'll show you in the catalog where you can find it. So this suite of products you can find on page 94 to 96. It consists of the stamp set and the dies, the designer paper, which they're also using, the seabed embossing folder, which we're not using today, and some pool party sheer ribbon, which we're not going to be using on this card. I'm also going to use some gold glitter dots, the tasteful labeled dies, this one here for the sentiment, smooth sailing dies, the seaweed one, and stitched rectangles. We have to make some frames. Okay, so I'll just get these back off to the side and I'll tell you what we have. So the card is big, so it opens like this. So it's kind of a fancy fold, like that. You can see. So it's got stuff on the inside, and there's all the gold glitter dots for the turtle bubbles. And then on the back is where you would put your sentiment. And you don't have to put two on, you can just put one if you want. But it's a big card, it's 5.5 by 5.5, so we have to create an envelope for it as well. So to do that, you need a 9 by 9 inch piece of Whisper White, and we sell Whisper White in 12 by 12, so it's easy to get a 9 by 9 piece. And we're going to use the now retired envelope punch board. You need Just Jade, 2 pieces, 6 by 5 3/4. You need one of 5.5 by 4 1/4. You need some designer paper. So you need, here, let's just put this over here so you can watch along. So inside, there's 2 pieces of designer paper, and they are 2 5/8 by 5 3/8. So I'm going to use a different pattern than we used on the inside. And then a piece of some rainbow glitter paper to die cut the seaweed out of, and at least 3 1/4 by 3.5. Some Whisper White, 2 by 3, and you need at least 2 of those, so I cut mine 2 by 6. And then 2 pieces of Whisper White, 5.5 by 4 1/4 for the back. I have a piece of window sheet that is 1 by 4 1/4, and some designer paper to cut some turtles out of. Okay, so I haven't done any scoring or anything on this one yet because I wanted to do it with you online. So you need 6 by 5 3/4, and one is the front and one is the back. So you're going to, on the 5 3/4 inch side, because it's 5.5. Oh, interesting. Apparently I have my sizes wrong. Hang on, just let me measure this. Because apparently it's 5.5, not 6. So 5.5 by 3 3/4. So I'm going to have to give these a quick trim because I made them 6 inches and they should be 5.5. So I made them 5 3/4 by 6. So I need to cut, I'm just going to mark this so I cut the right side. I want to cut this side down to 5.5. One moment, please. Oh my. Sometimes things just don't work the way they're supposed to. So 5.5 and 5.5. Okay, so now we have the right size. 5.5 by 5 3/4. So on the 3/4, 5 3/4 inch side, you want to score at 2 3/4 and then 5.5. You need a 1/4 inch. So this is the center of 5.5, and then you need this 1/4 inch flap to put them all together. So score at 2 3/4 and 5.5. There we go. All right, so I'm going to put that away. I'm done with my scoring tool now. And I'm not going to do any folding because I want to do the designer paper on the inside first, and we have to die cut the stitched rectangles out. So my designer paper is going to go on one of them. Like that. There we go. So just kind of play with it. I'm using a different pattern than the one I used on the first card. And it's just a lot easier to put your designer paper on the inside. Oh Lord, before you do any folding, because it's easier to put it on when it's flat. So there's one. I'll just get the adhesive on the other one. This stuff really sticks, as you can tell. It's sticking to me. But I've discovered that it comes up. If you get it down and it's not in the right spot, you can pull it back up again. Very gently. Okay, so I'm just going to stick this on here. Like that. And we'll put the other one on the other side. And you can't see the edges of this, so if you don't get it on perfectly straight, it's okay. There we go. Okay, so now we can do our score lines. And this one, the back one, oh, it's over here. So you fold it in towards here so that it's hidden inside. And if you score first, it doesn't really matter. Okay, so that's ready to go. Put that off to the side. Now this one, just need to get my magnetic platform. And we're going to use, where is my list here? The 3 largest stitched rectangles. So I'll just get them off right now while I here. And the 2 big ones are going to make the frame that goes around the outside, like here. This one cuts the hole. So I've already marked the middle of this so that I can get it on there straight. And all I did was mark it with I measured it and marked it with a pencil. Okay, so, and I'm going to twist it a bit so that it doesn't catch right on that straight edge. And I'll put it through the machine. And this is going to cut the hole out the window part. Okay, so there's that. And put the die back so I don't lose it, because we don't need that. And this piece is extra. You don't need that one. Okay, so now we have 5.25 by 5.5 by 4.25, and we're going to make the frame for the outside. So you put the big one on, and then you layer the smaller one inside it, and just make sure when you line it up that you're equal all the way around it. Just make sure frame a little better if it's straight and equal. There we go. Now I'm going to see if I can twist it without moving everything, because I don't want it to hit that flat edge. Okay, so now I'll put that through the machine. So this card I cased from Dawn Nickel, and I don't know who she got the original fold from. Okay, so here's all our pieces. So this, the outside piece is garbage. You don't need that. We'll put the two dies away and get them out of my way. Then we have this piece, which we cut out of the center. That's also extra. We don't need that. We just need this part. So this is going to go right over top like that. So I'm going to do that now. First of all, I'm going to do the little fold, because this just makes it easier to fold once you get this piece on. Now, you have a few options with adhesive. I'm going to use some Tombow dots. If you've got narrow tape, or take your tear and tape and cut it in half. But this works too. Just going to let my dots dry a bit while they sit here and we do other things. There we go. Okay, so I'm just going to place that off to the side, out of my way, so I don't get glue everywhere. All right, so this one also folds in. This is that 1/4 inch. And it's a good thing to do this and then figure out how to put your card together before you put anything on the front, so you get your right and your wrongs. But we need to do all of this stuff before we do put it together. Okay, so I know that this is the way it's going to go. So I'm going to take my pencil and I'm just going to make a little mark on that edge that's going to be glued down to tell me which is the top. All right, so now I'm going to take the glimmer paper and the smooth sailing dies and take out the seaweed die, and we're going to cut 2 seaweeds. So I did a green one and a pink one on this card, and I'm going to do 2 pink and yellow ones on this card. So we just put it there and then run it through the die cutting machine. I love this rainbow glimmer paper. It is so fun to use. And it's different colors. So it doesn't matter if you're doing a water scene or you're doing a using it for balloons, you're going to find a color that works. And I'm thinking that included in the price of your class is going to be 1 sheet of this glimmer paper that you'll be able to choose what colors to do your seaweed in yourself. And then we're going to use some of the other, on a couple of the other cards, we'll be using it as well, because I'm in love with it. Okay, so we'll just take this out of here and put my die away so I don't lose it. And I'm I'm just going to get my pokey tool so I can poke out the bits. Now you can put, would have been a smart idea to put a piece of adhesive on the back, adhesive sheet on the back. I'm just going to right now put a note, rainbow glitter, adhesive sheet. So when it comes time for me to prep for your class, I'm going to have that little note and remember to do adhesive sheet. Okay, I got a little carried away with shoving this out of the way, so let's just bring everything back where it's supposed to be. So there's our seaweed, and I'll just put that off to the side. And I have a piece to cut out some turtles. And I'll cut out a couple of them. I'm not going to make you sit through die cutting a whole whack of turtles, but even the part turtles you can use, because you can have them coming off of the side if you want. You don't have to worry that you don't like this one. I'm going to use this one, and he's just going to be coming out the side. So just, I think I put 4 in there. I'll only do 2, just because it's painful watching me fussy cut these. But it's so easy to fussy cut them. It's just straight lines. There's no ins and outs and rounds. They go around as flippers and that's it. Just quick like that. Aren't they cute? Turtles. So when we were in Hawaii many, many years ago, okay, it wasn't that many, probably 6 years ago now, we flew over and did a inter-island cruise. So we went to, we started off in Oahu. I don't know whether that's part of him or not. I don't think so. We started off in Oahu, and then we went to Maui, stopped in 2 places on Maui, at the top and at the bottom, and then we went to Kauai. And one of the places that we stopped at, we went for a snorkeling adventure, and we actually got to swim where there was sea turtles. Of course, you're not allowed to go up to them, and we understood that. They don't let you go that close anyways. But it was really cool. I'm not a great snorkeler. I'm okay once I get in there and get started, but I always have to make sure that Ted is right there beside me until I make sure there's no sharks in the ocean. There was no sharks hanging around, so then he could go off and do his thing as long as he's there within grabbing reach for the first 2 minutes. And then I get right into it. And then I take off and look at all the fishes and the turtles and all that cool stuff. I'd love to go back and do that again. That was a trip of a lifetime, that one. Okay, so there. I'll just do 2 turtles, and I'll finish the rest off after. So we have our couple of our turtles cut out. We need to stamp our whale. So there's a note on here that I inked it up in Magenta Madness and then sponged some bumblebee on his belly just to give him a little bit of color. So let's just do that. Just ink it up in Magenta Madness. Put that out of the way. And my dauber. And ink up with Bumblebee. And just lightly give him a little bit of color down at the bottom. Just like that. That's all it takes. You don't need too much, but it just breaks the color up a bit. Now, stamp him. Isn't he cute? I keep calling him he. Every time I do a card with the Whale Done bundle, I call him a he. And it very well could be a she. I'm not sure. Okay, let's cut out the whale. the coordinating punch. This is a relatively inexpensive bundle because it's a punch, not a set of dies. So the punch is $24 instead of dies being like $40, $50. There we go. So there's our whale. Now we're going to stamp it. Kind of a big deal. Move my turtles out of the way. Magenta Madness back in here again. And going to stamp that. Oh, I think I got it too close to the bottom. Okay. We're going to go stamp it again. Because I have to die cut it. That was too close to the bottom edge of the cardstock there. Okay, Tasteful Label dies. I love this set of dies. I have used and used and used them. And it's going to go like this. And I'm not worried about up here because I'm going to slice that off anyways. So I'm just going to die cut that. Make sure it's straight in there. And run it through. Come on. There we are. Die's going back. Now, when we put that on, then I'm just going to slice it flush with the end. Okay, so we have our die cuts, we have our frog, we have a couple of turtles. Now we just need to stamp the back. So I get the, and don't lose the window sheet part. Okay, so we're going to stamp the back. I'm going to get out the seaweed and the jellyfish and the coral. Whoops. Let's put them on blocks. All right, so the first thing I'm going to do is get out my dirty paper, and we're going to stamp, slide it under here, there we are, to stamp the seaweed, and that's in Just Jade. Okay, where's the other piece? There it is. Okay, so I'm going to ink this up. I'm going to do this one first, and it's a full one. Am I doing this so you can see? Okay, and then I'm going to do this one, and it's just a part of one. And then I'm going to move it and stamp it again, and then do this and stamp it again. There we go. So that's that done. And those two are done. Now we need the Blackberry Bliss for the jellyfish. And we have to stamp the envelope, but we need to make it first. So there's the jellyfish. That piece is done. And Calypso Coral, because coral needs to be coral colored, right? Makes sense to me. And we'll just stamp it down there at the bottom. Okay. Now we've got all the pieces done. We can start assembling. Turn the card back over so you can see out my front and my back, so they're handy. So the first thing you need to do is put the frame on, and kind of have to play with it to see. I could have marked it. That would have been a smart thing to do. Okay, I'm going to pretend that I already marked this. Just do a little mark there and a little mark there. Now it'll be easier to line up. Okay, so I'm going to stick the bottom mark on. I like doing the Tombow like this because it also becomes movable. And you don't have to worry about it squishing out the sides. Now, did I get that straight? No. This one needs to go up a bit. Let's see. Yep, that'll do. Okay, push it down good. I've got my eraser. I'll erase those pencil marks out of the way. Okay. Now, this I should have put adhesive sheet on, but I did not, so I'll have to put glue dots and let them dry. But it can dry while I'm doing the inside. There's one. And I'm paying attention to what parts are hanging out over the hole too. So this top and the very top of this go out over the hole. So you don't want to put adhesive on there. Otherwise they'll make your card stay closed when you fold it. Okay. Let's move those out of the way. And we can put our sentiment on there. Oops, shoot. I forgot that this part hangs over too. So we're experimenting. I want to see if I can roll that out of the way. No. Okay, so when I get it on, I'll have to get my embossing buddy and oh, look, I bent it. Shoot. Oh well. C'est la vie. So I'm kind of paying attention to where I'm putting this here. Line that point up with that. And I don't want it to go too far up there because I want it to be down a little bit, but I have to be cognizant of where that other stamping was. So there, you can't even tell. So now let me get my embossing buddy. And I'll just turn this over and put embossing buddy on here and voila, no more sticky. There we go. Okay, so now we have to put the window sheet piece, and that's right here, and it just goes from one side to the other side. So I'm going to use the Stampin' Seal Plus because it's a little bit more sticky than the Stampin' Seal is. There we go. Now, where you put it this way is completely up to you. It doesn't matter. And it doesn't matter if it's even. You just have to have it straight. So I'm lining it up on my grid paper. There we go. And that's that. Now, I want to put my adhesive on here. And I have some tear-in tape. And it's a little bit too wide. So I'm going to very carefully just put it down along that fold. And then after I take the liner off of it, I'll just curl that part back over a bit. Or you can take the time to cut it in half. Okay, so that's the front. And these are ready to go now. So this one is for this side, and I can tell by where I put the glue on. So then we're just going to stick this right down at the bottom here. And that. And this one is going to go in the same spot on the other side. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? I love this glimmer paper. Holy Aunt Jemima. Okay, so it's ready. And we have the adhesive on. So now we'll take this part. This is the inside. And where did my turtles go that I cut out? There they are. So you can't put them kind of over top. Well, I guess you could. Just if you're going to put one in the middle, just glue him down on one side or the other, but leave the other side free. So let's try that. I don't know whether it's going to work. Oops. But we'll find out. Okay. So that I'm going to put him, I think right there. I want to put this on first to make sure he's going to be kind of in the middle. Sure, that'll work. Now, this guy, because he's got no tail, I'm just going to use different adhesive here because I don't want to get adhesive all over my paper. I'm just going to do a little bit. And you could try to pop these up too, I guess. Now, because his tail is cut off there, I'm kind of going to put him so that it looks like he's coming out from behind that. So let's put this back on again, line up the centers, and see, he'll be fine. He has to go over just a tad more though, because otherwise his leg is going to be in the way. There. And he doesn't have adhesive on that leg, so he's fine. So then you would carry on and do the other ones if you wanted. Now, adhesive again on here. You don't want to be past that score line or you end up with having adhesive hanging out. So I need to put another piece on there. So I'm just going to pull back that liner a bit so I can, yeah, there we go. Just put a little bit more adhesive there. I need to have adhesive right to the end. There we go. All right. So we'll put one on first. And I'm not putting the bubbles on yet because I don't want to put them where I won't be able to see them. Come on. There we go. Now, go along with your finger and just roll this over so that you don't have adhesive sticking out. And it rolls over fine. It's not an issue. Okay, so now it's going to go. Oh no. Uh-oh. Oh no, that's right. This goes here like this. Whew. I just about had a failure, a heart failure, that I had done the adhesive on the wrong side, but I did not. See, now this is going to fold over like this, and then this one will tuck in underneath here, like that. Now, I could have put that over a little bit further. I managed to get it okay on that one. Let's see if I can pull this back up, because I have not pushed it down yet. There we go. Thank you. Thank you, the goddess of adhesive. So I'm going to put this right over on top of that score line because I don't want the score line to show at the front. There, that's better. See, now you won't see that score line, and it doesn't matter what the back side looks like. Okay, so now we have to do the other side. So I'll take the liner off. And if you score or burnish this, you won't have issues getting the liner off. Okay, there's the liner. Now I'm going in, folding it back over. And then fold that under and close your card. I was having issues getting my fingers out. There. And I'm just making sure that it's in behind. Oops, that's too far in behind. There we go. And there's your card. That's how it stands up. Can you see that? Light is not exactly in the best spot. Anyways, okay, so I don't like that turtle in the center there because look what it does. Okay, so I'm going to try something. And I don't know whether this is going to work or not. I'm going to put a little bit of adhesive on my scissors, and I'm just going to glue his head down. And we'll see what happens when we fold the card. Oh yeah, see, it's trying to move. Okay, that's not going to work. Just going to pull him up gently. There we go. Okay. So don't try to put them halfway on and halfway off because that doesn't work. Oh, look at that. The adhesive wasn't even on his head. Okay. I'm going to put right on the very edge of that fold. There, like that. We still have to put our whale on. He's going to go on down here. So then I'll add another, at least one more turtle over on this side. But we have to put this dude on. Just somewhere where it looks good. There we are. All right, now the gold glitter dots. And these are really fussy. You have to be careful when you take them off of the sheet because you'll leave the gold part in behind. So just dig down underneath it, but use a pokey tool. Don't use your scissors because they're not fine enough. You need the pokey tool to be able to get down underneath them. Okay, so I need a bubble. I'll use a bigger one here. He's got big bubble. And one more. One more over there. And then when I put the other ones on, I'll add some more bubbles. Put those away. Pretty cool, eh? I love this card. This is so much fun. Now we're going to put our back pieces on. Okay, why are you not cooperating? Roll. I think, there we go. It seems to pull back on itself when I put it down. There's one. And there's the other one. I'm just going to advance that a bit and see if I can stop that from happening. Okay, so this one's going to go on this side. Oops. Come on. Thank you. And this one's going to go on this side. Kind of keep them at the same height if you can. This is another one of those cards that it's difficult to find somewhere to put your made by stamp. Okay, so now we need to make the envelope. And I need the envelope punch board. And we're making a 5.5 by 5.5, so we need a 9 by 9 piece of paper and start at the 4.5 spot. Okay, now let's get some of this stuff put away and out of the way. Okay, so I need my scoring tool. Put this in and put it over to 4.5, and you punch and score. And then you line up the score line again, and you ignore what's going on over here, because that 4.5 is only a starting point. There we go. And then I'm going to put it in the back. I'm going to round off one of the points. Put this away. Now, if you don't have that scoreboard, you can buy the 6x6 envelopes. We just can't get them here where I live, so. And if you can't do that, then just contact me and you can come over and make up some envelopes. So then you just fold them all in like that. And the rounded one is the top. And this kind of have to play with it till you get it where it folds properly there. And then this one folds down over top of it. So I'm just going to put some adhesive on here, right up against the edge. Whoops, I got it on my paper now. Make sure that there's none going over the edge. You just want to fold that over and glue that down. Now, where does that adhesive go? Take it off of there before I get things stuck in it. Okay, so there's the envelope. Now we just have to stamp it. So this is how I stamped it. I just added the seaweed in Just Jade. And I need my dirty paper to be able to do that. So I don't get it all over my grid paper. Okay, I'm organized now. Really, I am. So I'm going to do one down here, and then I'm going to go up a little bit. How did I do that? Oh, I did a couple of more. Okay, so here's one here. And then maybe another one. There we go. And that's Just Jade. And now I'm going to use Blackberry Bliss and put a jellyfish on there. I love this jellyfish. He's cute. There we are. So there's the cards and the envelopes. Just like that. And then when they get them, all they have to do is that, and then they sit up like this. Let me see if I can get it. See, they sit up like this, so then you have this window in there. There we are. So I'll finish that one off with a couple of more turtles. Let's see, I've got 4 turtles in there and a whole bunch of dots. There we go. So thank you so much for watching the video. This video is only going to be available to people who take the class, so it is unlisted. And I appreciate you taking time out of your day to watch it. And thank you so much for taking my Well Done class. There's 3 cards in the class, and you'll get the other 2 videos as well. Thanks so much for joining me today. Stampin' Smiles, and bye for now.